What do you want?
I want you to stop me.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Hot Boy Brian LaGrosse and Shane the Boner Thief Smith coming at you hot, ready for fucking more Retro Reel.
Retro Reel, the best idea I think you've ever had.
It might be the best idea I've ever had, ever. Not even having to do with a horror, movie, like just in general. I don't have a lot of good ideas, but this one was one of them probably.
This has been awesome. I know we're only on week 2 of Retro Reel, but we got so much in store that's just so 80s action packed.
Yeah, it's fucking spring heat.
Yeah,
it's spring heat.
It really is. We're so obviously today we're doing the Hitcher, Ruter Hauer. It's everything you could want in a Retro Reel movie.
Oh yeah, it really is. Like, so last week we did Demons, which throws you right out there with that Vice style music and fast paced action. This movie is a more metaphysical dreamscape across the highway and like the desert, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know where is this in
Texas. I think it's Texas.
Yeah, he's going from Chicago to Cali, but he goes through Texas. Yeah, man, that like desert Texas landscape. Mm-hmm. But it's a trip, and that's why it's very, very 80s. The music, the high-paced action, the cops, like the energy. Such a vibe.
It is a vibe. It's just like, it almost feels surreal, this movie, because it's got like highways, teleportation.
Yeah, it's got extreme teleportation.
I think an entire police force has just been wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, you got local police, you got Texas police. Just when you thought everything was out of there and finished, you get a helicopter.
This movie is Grand Theft Auto.
It is, but it's like deeper than that in a way.
But,
and like
there's deep meaning to this.
I'm trying to like. I was telling you like when I was watching this, I'm like, this is the second watch. I'm like, on the surface level, this could be just a guy that literally is a demon of some sort, or is he like the personification of evil?
Right.
Or is he just like a master serial killer that's the personification of evil? Or is it something else entirely?
Maybe he's not real.
Maybe he's not real.
Maybe no one's real.
Yeah, I mean, like I had theories. I was talking to Caitlin while watching this. I was just popping theories up that this was a multiple personality thing. Now, after multiple checks of the internet, it seems to be one prevailing theory that this is the story of good and evil, and that he is the personification of evil as a serial killer.
Yes. Because it does make sense, your original theory, for him not to be real and that it's like multiple personality kind of thing, because he does end up everywhere at every moment that he needs to be there.
Well, like logically speaking, there's a huge metaphysical element to this, because there's no way he can get like C. Thomas Howell can kick him out of the fucking car. So he's on the highway being passed up and then appear in a car in front of him, unless that was like fucking Tony Stewart.
Yes. Oh my God. This has like a Terminator vibe where like the villain almost feels indestructible, like a Terminator, where no matter what you do, he's always following you.
But like, and the more I thought about this, I'm like, is this really like, maybe they are the same person and this is like that duality of the mind where it's like he's good but like feels guilty about something he did and he wants him to feel the guilt and to go more to the evil side. So it is that battle. Like I said, everywhere I read, it didn't really dictate that to me. It is the battle of good and evil, but like them being the same person didn't seem to be the case from like the reviews that I read and like the theory and reception behind the movie. But it's there's a lot that we can dive into here. I'm just saying, like, for me, like there's so many things I picked up on, like, and this is why I was like, I had this like idea of the multiple personalities, because there's a scene in this movie where he provides him with a gun with 6 bullets, and then if you remember, like he gives him the gun, he shoots him. There's nothing. The 6 bullets on the table, which he loads in his gun. See Thomas Howell. And then later, Ruter Hauer has a gun he loads with 6 bullets and shoots the helicopter following them. So I'm like, is this really like C. Thomas Howell shooting the helicopter?
Right. Is it? Yeah, because it looks like the same gun and everything.
And then there's like,
who knows?
There's the hotel scene where like he pops in for a shower and then he magically appears in the hotel room and sits next to Jennifer Jason. I'm like, dude, like this ain't real. Like, what is this?
This is impossible. How is this happening? But then there's certain interactions with the police where it's like, it has to be real. So there's only one place to find out though if things are real or not, and that place is the spooky pit.
Spooky. The Hitcher was released in 1986, directed by Robert Harmon. Ruter Hauer is something else. This film, directed by, like I said, Robert Harmon, stars Ruter Hauer as John Ryder, C. Thomas Howell as Jim Halsey in Whiteface, Jennifer Jason Leigh as Nash, and Jeffrey DeMunn as Captain Esteridge. Oof, yeah, C. Thomas Howell, I only just know him from Soul Man.
Yeah, I don't think I know him from anything else either. Which, if you haven't seen Soul Man, watch that private and don't tell people. It hasn't aged well, let's just say that.
No, but like it's then. This is why you love the 80s so much. You could just literally watching this retro reality set of movies is like what you can get away with saying back then.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Wait till we get to Maniac Cop. Did I spill that too early? Because that's a crazy shit.
Maniac Cop is so great. All right, but we're not talking about Maniac Cop yet. We are talking about The Hitcher, and this movie is going to open up with, I believe it's C. Thomas Howell driving in his car down the highway, right?
Yeah, long stretch of road, and yeah, you don't really get too much backstory from him. You get a little bit, but not too much. You get absolutely zero from Ruter Hauer.
Nothing.
Which I love.
Yeah, it makes him so much more menacing.
But yeah, you're right. So he's on a long stretch of highway, and he sees a man on the side of the road. I believe it's raining.
Yes.
When he picks him up.
And he's going to pick him up. And right away, this guy's like really sketchy. Like, you don't see his face. I love how they shoot this, where his face is just, like, hidden in the shadows.
They hide his face. They hide his, kind of like his expressions a little bit. Yeah. You see, like, the side, like, smirk. Because he's asked some very poignant and straightforward questions, right? Yeah. So he basically asks him, like, hey, what are you up to? Where are you going? And he refuses to answer the questions.
Yes.
It's almost like he can't answer the question.
Because I don't think he does have answers.
Yeah.
So they're driving, and then he starts to get more and more, like, menacing, where he's basically saying, like, you're going to die. Like.
Well, yeah, I think he just straight up says, because they see, like, a car on the side of the road. Yeah. And he basically tells him that
to drive past it.
He actually grabs his leg to drive past it, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, so, and then as they get to that like line of questioning, he basically says, he's like, oh, that's a family, or that's somebody I killed, and they can't drive away because I cut off his limbs and his head. Yeah. And then C. Thomas Howell tries to do like a nervous laugh, and Ruter Hauer just doesn't laugh at all.
Yeah, it's so menacing. It's so well done. It puts you in the situation like, oh God, what would I do in this situation?
It's just you two on a long stretch of highway, and it's like that moment you're just like, my life is legitimately over. Yeah. like I just made one mistake. It's the 80s. I picked someone up on the side of the road, and now my life is forever changed.
Yes. And it's not like that simple, I'll just stop, get out of the car, run. Like, he clearly shows he has a knife at this point in time.
They're about to get to a construction checkpoint.
Yes. And the construction worker comes up, and Ruter Hauer, does he have a name in the movie? Or is he just the Hitcher?
John Ryder.
John Ryder, you're right. So John Ryder, he puts the knife to his crotch, and he's like, don't say anything. And they do that. They make it play off that they're a gay couple, because he's like holding him there, and the guy's like, you two have a nice night and get going.
Yeah, so like this is like ready. Like this is one of the two conversations that deflate my multiple personality theory, because he does say he addresses them as sweethearts.
Yes, he does.
You two sweethearts get going, like you mentioned. So I'm like, damn, that means that there is really two people in the car.
Right.
So they can't be a single person. And then I got into, like I said, a tangent other theory where he actually was the one that killed someone, and that was that person on the side of the road. But the more I'm thinking about it, and it's going to come in a second, I do think that was the family. Like, you know, when he peers in the back of a car, I think that was the family that was on the side of the road.
I do too. Yes.
But yeah, so essentially right after the security checkpoint, it's the tension's going to really build between these two.
Yeah.
To the point where I think he actually has the switchblade that was on his nuts up to his throat.
Yes, he does.
Right. And then he basically, this is a really interesting line because he basically says, he goes, I think he asked him, like, do you want to die?
Yeah.
Is that the words he uses?
He's saying, he's making him say, I want to die.
He's like, say I want to die.
And he's crying. And he's like, I can't say that. I can't say that. And as he's slowly starting to say it, he sees he has Ryder off guard. And that's when he throws him out of the car.
Yeah. Super interesting.
Yeah.
Super interesting. He legitimately, so like when he does and he throws him out of the car, if you watch Ruter Hauer's like face expression, he doesn't look perturbed. He literally kind of smiles.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
A worthy adversary.
yeah, have I met my match here on the highway?
And this moment is going to make him never stop fucking with Thomas C. Howell. Like, he is going to hunt this man down.
This is the relentless pursuit. So, like, I'm thinking when I'm watching this, does he just, like, kill C. Thomas Howell and he's just, like, another victim of the road, like, another week? Is he looking for that showdown?
Right.
Because he's clearly not real in the sense of, like, he can't be everywhere at once in Texas.
Yeah.
Because everything is bigger in Texas, Shane.
Yes, the roads, the diners, the teleportation portals, it's all bigger. Because as Thomas C. Howell's driving down the road, doesn't he see Ryder in the back of a car now with a family?
Yeah. So like there's gonna be family driving, and it looks like there's like two people are shooting like these toy guns out of it, and like on a second glance he looks back, and I think it's a kid and Ruter Hauer in the back of like the station wagon.
This is so weird though, because like why is this family letting Ruter C. Hauer just play with their kids in the back of the car?
I'm just saying, it just can't happen.
Like
it just can't happen. like I'm just gonna be honest. Like watching this, you are obviously your first expression is you got to take everything rationally, but you'll soon realize like it is literally impossible for him to be doing all this.
Yeah,
like I said, unless that's Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Like, it's got to be some kind of.
Because, like, how fast was that family driving to catch up?
Exactly. And, like, look, that car is a station wagon with shit on top of it.
Pulling a boat.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, he pulls to the side and he goes, literally, he's like, pull over. You have a nut job in the back of your car. And the parents are like, what are you talking about? And I love Ruter Hauer just smiling. Yeah. Basically has his arm around the kid.
He's kissing her. He's
giving her a kiss on the head.
And then... yeah, he has to swerve away from a bus. He gets hit a little bit, and the family drives off. And then he does eventually drive past that car, and they are all dead. I think you see blood in the car. You don't see bodies, but you see like the blood in the car and stuff like that. And from that moment, he gets to the diner next, right? Where he calls the police to report the murder of these people.
So he's gonna drive a little bit more, and like the whole thing is weird. He does get out of his car when he does see like a car on the side of the road.
Right, he sees the murdered family.
Obviously, like again, like he's like not well,
right?
But he's very, very visibly upset. Then he goes to the diner, and I think he makes a call. I forgot who he makes the call to. I think he tries to make a call to his brother.
Right.
Because that's like the only piece of backstory you get is that he's got a brother. But he then sees like Ruter Hauer who throws, like he takes his keys, throws him his keys and leaves. So like already you getting the impression.
That's before the diner though. That's when he goes to the abandoned gas station. So you're okay. So it's a good thing you brought that up because the diner, it's actually important this scene before we get to the diner because he throws him the keys and everything, but he also... we don't find this out till later, plants things on Thomas C. Howell's character from this little gas station meet.
This whole movie is like him planting evidence for the cops to think that he's the one committing all of his crimes.
Yes. So after this little meet he gets to the diner. He's like, I got to call the police. He does call the police. He informs them. He's like, I know I saw these people murdered on the side of the highway. I need you to get to this diner. I'm going to be waiting in the diner. He gets a nice cheeseburger with some fries, and he's talking to Jennifer Jason Leigh, who becomes a good actress eventually.
Eventually, yeah, for sure. So am I to believe that she made this food, or she said that she has someone in the back that made
I
it,
think
right?
she works with her cousin and her father, or cousin and brother, or something like
Uncle,
that.
maybe?
Yeah. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, because they get a little chummy here.
they do.
Chit-chat.
They do.
And everybody in this movie smokes cigarettes. Another reason why when she came in, I'm like, well, I bet you she's a personality too. We're dealing with 3 people in one.
They all smoke.
But yeah, like there's other things that deflate that theory.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. So I would be lying if I said the thought didn't cross my mind that Ruter Hauer and the other guy, Thomas C. Howell, were the same person. It did cross my mind for a bit, but like you said, things will deflate those theories throughout the whole movie.
I had theories popping up because like then I was like, I thought, oh, maybe like this is one of the girls, one of the people he killed, and he's just like reimagining her, and it's just that fight of like evil versus his guilt. You know, he sees the murdered family, he doesn't do well with it, but again, like Ruter Hauer's gonna continuously just like fuck with him, doesn't kill him. He murders everybody in his path except for him.
I truly believe he was going to murder him.
Yes.
Up until he was thrown out of the car, and like you said, then he's like, he's the one.
Yeah.
He's the worthy adversary.
Yep.
He's what I've been looking for.
Yeah, let's see if he can. Like
if I can break this man.
Yeah, like I triumph him. Maybe I could pull the evil out of him. Will he succumb? Will I take him over? So he does try to like I said. He tries to give him that like kill yourself cop out. Doesn't do it. So like it's always gonna be that battle, and it's literally relentless throughout the movie to the point where like literally there's every police officer in the whole state of Texas that is murdered at a police station.
Yeah.
And Ruter Hauer is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
It is just C. Thomas Howell.
So let's talk about this. What is more evil? Ruter Hauer or the police force in Texas? Because the police force in Texas is going to show up and instantly arrest him, even though he's the one who called. They don't question him. They don't ask him questions. They literally slam him into the ground, guns pointing at him. And then they start raiding his pockets for things.
That's right after the diner scene, right? Because they're outside. Yeah. They're pretty brutal. And like, he did call. They immediately are going to bring him in for questioning.
But like, he called. Wouldn't they talk to him first before just instantly assuming the guy who called did it? Which is what made me think they were the same person. Because I'm like, why would they automatically assume it was him? But then they find the bloody knife in his pocket, which was planted from the meeting at the gas station.
Yeah. And I think that he makes calls, right? This is Karl's brother, and the brother doesn't pick up.
And he calls someone else who also doesn't pick up.
It's funny. He's just like, fuck. And they're like, where'd you get your car? He's like, it's a drive away. I'm going from Chicago to California. Yeah. It's just like everything like about his backstory makes him seem like a fucking killer.
Yes.
Everything.
But I do like this. So as they're investigating him, the sheriff instantly is like, yep, we got our guy. But I think the other guy who's in the room is a detective, and he's like, yeah, there's no way this kid did this.
He's like, that kid's not a killer.
No. Which I like.
Because maybe that's the point that offsets my theory too. Like the theory of them being the same person. I don't know. Like it's tough. But yeah, you're right. He's definitive when he says that.
Like because like every other cop in this movie is so gun ho. Like, this is it. Let's shoot this kid. It was nice to actually have one detective who's like, yo, I just talked to this kid for 5 minutes. This kid, he ain't killing anyone.
So the murders are so brutal.
Yeah.
And they must have been happening already. And they're so vicious along the highway, the strip. So like, you're right. Like, they are immediately going to shoot like him on sight after the scene versus take him. Like, that is not an option.
Yeah.
After the police station scene, it's all murder.
It's so that's the thing, and that's why I love this movie. If you just are willing to suspend your belief that like it's impossible for Ruter Hauer to be everywhere and just enjoy this movie for what it is, this is a fantastic movie. Like, because I get it. Some people are like, this isn't realistic. He's everywhere. But it's like, it's just the idea of it's good versus evil, and they have to clash like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, they're going to lock him up for the night, right?
Yeah.
And then
he's spending the night in jail.
Does his cell door just unlock when he wakes up? That's what I don't remember. Because I know he leaves the cell and walks around, and all of the police are dead. But I forgot, is his door just unlocked the next morning?
Yeah, it just opens.
Okay.
It just conveniently opened. So once again, like someone would have had to open that door for him.
Yep.
Someone would have had to have the keys from the police officer to leave their jail. I'm assuming it's like some kind of like county jail or something, like open.
So he's going through this police station and everyone is dead. Everyone has their throats slit. Like there was no cop left alive. And he's going to find a gun on one of the police officers. He's going to grab the gun. And then he's going to leave the police station just as the police station is being raided by all the other cops in the state.
Yeah, I mean, like this is just like a relentless chase for him. After this point, this is the relentless chase of C. Thomas Howell versus the police force of Texas.
Yes. So he's gonna hide in the mountains where he actually doesn't he see Ruter Hauer watching him from like that black van again?
Yeah. So now
the black truck.
Ruter Hauer, who's been walking from place to place hitchhiking.
Yes.
Now has a black truck.
Yes.
A black pickup, right?
Yes.
Like that he just drives around on the side, like he off-roads with the black pickup and keeps up.
And he just watches him. He doesn't actually attack him or chase him. He watches him and then drives off, knowing he'll spawn in the next location. So Thomas C. Howell will get to the gas station and he's trying to, figure out, I guess, what he's going to do.
Next moves. Like his life is... He's a wanted criminal, like
literally
according
at this point
to Texas.
Because especially now they think he killed the entire police force in that building and escaped. He meets Ryder here though, right? At this gas station again.
Yeah, it's like a roadside gas station / diner,
and they have like a little back and forth talk again.
They have an exchange, and this is the scene I was talking about where he has the gun.
Yeah.
Which. He goes to shoot Ruter Hauer. He's like, squeeze the trigger, shoot me. And he actually fights him, for, like the idea. And then he does eventually shoots him, but unfortunately there's nothing in the gun.
Yes.
And then Ruter Hauer has all 6 bullets, puts them on the table, which he uses to load his gun.
Yep. And this is when he's going to go outside and 2 cops are going to show up and he's going to hold those cops at gunpoint.
Yeah, again, like probably wouldn't have been the action I would have done or taken, but yeah, he holds them at gunpoint, and his strategy here is basically like, let me take you guys hostage to prove to you guys that I'm not the killer.
Yes. Okay. So he's like, let me talk to the sheriff. He's talking to the sheriff, pulls up next to them, and one bullet shoots both cops. Yeah. One bullet
literally splits their head open.
Yes. So they're both dead. He's then going to get back to another gas station. He waits for a bus. He takes a bus now.
We talking Greyhound or?
I think we're talking Greyhound because I think this is a cross-country bus. We're going Greyhound. And he's going to meet the girl from the diner from the beginning of the movie.
Of course she's on the bus.
Yeah.
Because they're the same person in my theory. My other theory.
Ooh.
That no one supports.
I mean, also think about it this way. She gets pulled into the bathroom on the Greyhound. No one questions why 2 people just went into that bathroom on a Greyhound.
Yeah, nobody questions it.
So he's like, you need to believe me. I didn't do it. We're all the same person, so I need you on my side.
Yo, you should have seen me spit in this last night. Well, I was telling Caitlin, I'm like, Caitlin, listen, they're all on the same stretch of highway. You have no backstory of any character. They all smoke cigarettes. She's like, it's the 80s. Everyone's smoking cigarettes.
Why is no one picking up the phone calls for him? Maybe he doesn't actually have a brother. Maybe he didn't rent that car and it was stolen.
Maybe 100%.
It's all adding up.
That's all adding up.
So she actually is going to be swooned by him and instantly believe everything he says, even though there's no reason she should believe any of this. She just met that man 5 hours ago.
I guess something about a bus bathroom makes you believe someone that is literally being manhunted by Texas police.
So I'm gonna ask you this.
Ask me.
Is it that girls just really dig a bad boy?
They do.
Or is it they're the same person?
Yeah, but both things are probably true in this case. But women are crazy. Like after they get screwed time and time again by the brooding bad boys. Don't get me wrong, they're hot.
Yeah,
but they will let you down.
Yes. Yeah, they're all fun. There's an excitement level, but at some point
they're going to murder a family on the side of the road. They're going to cut their head off, their limbs off.
Yep.
Leave them lifeless. And then they're going to shoot a helicopter and bring it down.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad out there.
It's not fun. But this is what the women want. You won't date the nice guys. But yeah, this is what you get.
This is what you get. You get Ruter Hauer murdering a family.
They get the Hitcher. Also, Hitcher, it's like a passenger. It occupies your car. It occupies your brain.
I love it. I'm sold. I didn't even care that they talked to both of them at the end of the movie. So the bus is gonna get pulled over, and now it's the sheriff, and the sheriff is like, "You killed my deputies. I need you to touch my wrist." And he's doing that because he wants to make it seem like he went for the gun and was justified in shooting him rather than just shooting an unarmed man on the side of the road.
Yeah, it makes you think they're either sick or they have an interesting brand of justice for these killers. Yeah. You know, he's, like I said, he's already like, it's a brutal murder streak that's going on. So like, that's their justification. That's all they need.
Yeah. So this is that whole thing. It's like, you know, the brothers in arms, all that. So it's like, once he's a cop killer, they're like, we can justify just killing this man in cold blood. Like, he's done.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the bus bathroom talk has made her believe him, and she's actually going to show up behind the cop and point a gun at him.
Yeah.
Tell him to drop his gun, and then they're both going to go off in a police cruiser while being watched by Ruter Hauer on the side of the road with a gun that has 6 bullets in it.
And now this is going to lead into the most unbelievable sequence of the entire movie, because the two of them are going to be chased down this highway by police. Big police chase. He's going to be like, "I need you to start shooting the gun at them." She's like, "I can't do it because we're the same person, so you can't drive and shoot at the same time."
Yeah, as I'm saying.
Which is why she fumbles the gun out of the window, because they're the same person.
That's what I'm saying, Shane. I'm loving when you're buying in. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I just love the way this goes, because all he does, the collective he, pushes on the brakes, causes both cars to instantly, like, he'll go back, they'll fall forward, they tumble. I'm sure everybody's dead in their cars.
That's what I'm saying. The police force is getting thinned out in Texas. So now they're a little stunned from it, but they're going to come back to, they're going to start driving. This is when they're going to get chased by a helicopter. I believe that Ruter Hauer is able to snipe out of the ground, out of the air with a revolver,
with his handgun. Yeah, it's insanity, dude. I love it because you just see like, they're like, okay, got rid of the cops, ditch them, and then over the desert hills, you just see this chopper come out of nowhere.
And this chopper is like, it's not just following them to like do a searchlight. It's like they're shooting an assault rifle out of this chopper.
Yeah,
and then you just see John Ryder smoking a cigarette, holding a revolver,
like fucking Clint Eastwood and Hang 'em High or something. Like, just has it out.
He takes all 6 shots. The chopper smokes, crashes into the other police.
Yeah, it's like wild. It's like everybody's just getting mowed down in the most unexplainable ways. And he just continues his reign of terror, and like, again, the chess match continues between John Ryder and Jim Halsey.
His body count is huge.
It's insanity.
Like, he killed a police force. These people aren't surviving these car accidents.
I think, yeah, it's just that whole idea of just like unquenchable evil that can literally take out anything and anybody. And the whole idea is like, he's trying to quote unquote run away from that evil, like he's trying to escape it, but from what I read, it's like all about like him confronting the evil. He knows he needs to confront John Ryder. He needs to confront the evil in order to get over this. But
right,
it's been an avoidance up to this point.
Whew. All right, so you know what, Bri? There's a lot of hot energy. Let's take a nap at a hotel.
I think it's time to go to the motel, the local Motel 6.
Let's take this girl, let's tuck her into bed, let's go take a shower, and then let's have our other personality sneak into the bed.
Yeah, this is, again, I mentioned this early on, we were talking about it. While he's in the shower, literally Ruter Hauer is in the bed. He's in the bed in the motel right next to, basically coddling Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, basically stroking her hair.
It's Nash. That's her name.
Nash. Yeah.
Good, because I actually did not know her name until that moment.
But dude, yeah, so it's crazy. Like how is he there? Why is he there? Like, it's crazy.
And like, so she phoned her parents or father during that while he was in the shower. So the police, I'm assuming the father told the police where she was, and that's how the police are able to show up in this scene. Actually, all fits together very nice. So Jim sees that the police are here now, so he's going to sneak out of the hotel, try to escape. The police are going to grab him, but now the police are like, we need your help. He has her tied up. And this is where it kind of gets rid of the whole, all these people are the same, because the police literally say he has her tied against the truck. We need your help to talk him down and save her.
So he's got to go into the pickup truck and talk to John Ryder.
Yes.
And this is interesting because he gives him a choice.
Yes.
Doesn't he? He gives him like that choice of like, so he's stretching her out and he can let his foot off the brake and everything would be okay. Or he has to, I forgot what, is it shoot him?
Shoot him. So the issue is either way she dies, because he's like, I'm going to let my foot off the brake and she dies, or you could kill me first.
But 100%. But he wanted him to kill
him. Yes. Either way, she was going to get killed, but he wanted him to take the route of killing him.
Yeah, it's more of like.
But then you also murder the girl by killing me.
I think the point was just like it's evil. He's killing the girl either way, but like you need to like rise to my level.
Yeah,
like
kill me.
And
he can't do it. So he just lets go of the brake. You don't see it, but you can imagine what it's like to be tied to a tractor trailer and then have a tractor trailer pull you in half.
Yeah,
that's brutal. I feel like this movie made in like the early 2000s would have shown everything. In the 80s, they were just like, you don't need to see it.
Cut
you
away.
Just know this is probably one of the most horrendous ways to get killed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get the idea, and I don't think you do.
You don't need to see it.
You're right. Like, they actually did remake this in the 2000s, now that I'm thinking about it.
Shit, with Jake Busey, right?
Yeah, I think they remade this.
They probably showed the kill. I never saw the remake.
No, me neither.
But I feel like in that movie, they probably showed her get split in half.
Apparently, there's also a spin-off, too.
There's a spin-off of The Hitcher?
Yeah, apparently the Mexican direct-to-video movie Deadly Road from 1993 is a spin-off to this movie.
In
Deadly Road.
I couldn't be more in. I can't wait until we do Rest Stop month.
Right. Rest Stop. So, vacancy. So, after this whole thing happened, they seem to have John Ryder in custody.
Yes. And this is where it's like it literally can't be the same person, because the detectives bring him in to talk to John Ryder, like, and he doesn't talk, he just spits in his face.
Yeah, and this is there's a weird homo thing going between these guys with the ball touching and the spitting and him loving the spit on his face.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. They're like
Connected.
oddly connected.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why it's a real interesting like duality situation that they got going on here.
That's why the evil versus good makes the most sense for it. Like Jim is like this good guy. He has actually done nothing wrong in this movie other than try to survive. And like John Ryder is just this literally pure evil entity. And which will like win? Will John Ryder win and force Jim to move evil, or like will Jim take the pure good route? But we're gonna learn shortly as John Ryder is being transferred to a prison, and Jim is being brought by the sheriff now. Well, fuck, I don't even know if it's a sheriff. It's just probably the state police at this point, because the sheriffs are all dead. He's bringing him back home. Jim's gonna take the evil route, and he's gonna hold up the sheriff and be like, I need to finish this.
Yeah. 'Cause I think he's at the point of like, this man is going to like literally haunt me for the rest of my days. I'm literally never getting out of Texas. So I need to like either get killed or kill this dude.
Yes, I need to be the one to finish this. So he holds the sheriff by gunpoint. The sheriff's like, I know you're not going to do it, kid. He's like, I have to. So he gets him out, and this is the sickest part. He chases down to the correctional bus, and Ruter Hauer's already killed everyone there and has a shotgun and jumps head first into Jim's vehicle through the windshield.
It's literally wild.
Yes.
It's like too much, but I love it.
That's the thing. It's like, it is so much, but it's so well done and so fun. So, like, he'll slam on the brakes. Ruter Hauer's going to fly out of the windshield again. The shotgun's on the ground. But Jim hesitates here, and he lets him get the shotgun.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is supposed to be like the big like culmination. And yeah, he hesitates, so he does run and get to the shotgun first. But like I said, this is like the big battle that Ruter Hauer was looking for. And he's going to go 100%. Like, he's not going to pull any punches. But the idea was like the worthy adversary situation. So yeah, he's going to be delayed here. I do know that he eventually gets out of the car.
Yes.
To face him outside the car.
Yes. Well, he hits him with the car first.
Yes, right. Sorry. He does hit him full steam ahead, making him tumble. So now he's like, I think C. Thomas Howell has had him hit the pavement 3 times.
Yes. Because now this is where he's going to get out of the car. And he shoots him, right, to end the movie?
He literally just goes up to him and shoots him. He goes out of the car and shoots him.
And I think as soon as he shoots him, the credits roll.
It's interesting, though, like the way that, so like, he's not happy about it.
Oh, no, not at all.
He like goes to the vehicle and just like look like he's thinking about like what he's done. I think it's just like the fact that like now remember the detective said he's not a killer. Like it's been, but now he's been
turned into one.
He had to confront evil and was made to be one.
Yeah.
But he really didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I guess living with that it just made him realize he's just like, this is what I've been made into. Yeah. I guess just the simple answer is like, don't pick up a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
So apparently this movie is actually
inspired
by the song Riders of the Storm.
Yeah, I heard that. I was reading that.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, because I was reading somewhere like either the director, I think, or the writer was just like using the lyrics of the song and like it inspired him to write this movie. And I think it was one or the other, if I'm not mistaken, was inspired also to write this movie based on a incident that happened to him where he did pick up a hitchhiker on the side of the road. Oh. And it was a very odd exchange, very similar to this. And then he actually did drop the guy off and the guy did walk out.
Wow.
You can look that up. Look that up. See if the Hitcher, I forgot the director's name.
Interesting.
Meh. But yeah, this what a fun movie, man.
I loved it.
Fits real nicely into retro reel.
Perfect. It's the perfect fit, and it's the perfect middle of the pack movie. We're only going to ramp it up from here with more retro 80s movies. So I'll go into my review while Matt's looking that up for us. I fucking love this movie. The acting between like Ruter Hauer is great. See, Thomas Howell has his moments. He's rough around the edges, but like it's just like the perfect like action horror like adventure, like just the riding on the road, the emptiness of Texas desert, like just a chopper going down, the music in the background to all this. It's so well done. Like, I think this is like a quintessential like 80s like movie. I'm actually going to give this a very strong 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm with you with the 8 out of 10 for sure. Definitely. Yeah, I could not believe like a movie like this would make me think so much.
Yeah.
Like it had me like theorizing, and then of course my theories were wrong, but that's totally fine. I do love you kind of understand like the evil piece and the metaphysical nature of his character, John Ryder, but yeah, it was really like I did love the way this movie kind of like took on this good versus evil along the stretch of this desert atmosphere. And I don't know, like it was like really fast paced. It was crazy in all the right ways. The Ruter Hauer is like the perfect person for this role. Like
completely
he's
agree.
A complete and total psychopath, but it's just a really fun movie. Surprisingly thought provoking, but extremely fun. So I love it. I have it as an 8. Like I said, if you're looking for, I would say it's not cheese, but it's just like high paced, crazy action.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that, but it definitely has a good 80s vibe to it. So we're definitely like 2 for 2 so far.
100%.
With this. And like, I know we're going to be talking kills soon. I don't even know what I'm going to, I guess maybe Nash. Like, dude, the kills are fucking wild.
All of them. So, like, that's the thing. Like, the Nash kill's crazy. I love when he shoots 2 detectives at the same time in that one car. Just not even their off-screen kills, but Jim walking out of the prison to see all the officers' throats slit, the helicopter going down. Like, there's so much going on, but the only reason I'm going to give my bump to Nash is because she is a main character, and I've never seen someone tied to 2 semi trucks and get torn in half. Like, that is such a clever kill concept.
You know the force that has to be done to actually split a human being in half.
I know. With the
weight of the trucks
are just pulling, and she's tied tight to the other one. So even if it didn't pull her in half, it's ripping her arms off for sure. Like,
I'm surprised the cops didn't shoot out his fucking tires. I guess they were just like nervous.
Yeah.
I still don't even know if that would have truly stopped it, but
it might have slowed it down. It's possible.
It's just a lot of weight though, especially if it's going. You have an answer?
I don't have an answer. However, it said that apparently this movie was supposed to be more gruesome, and apparently that it was supposed to be like over 3 hours long. They cut it.
That, well, it's the 80s. The MPAA was cutting everything. Just look at any Friday the 13th movie.
However, I did not find that story, unfortunately. It's all just, every time I look it up, it's just giving me the general bio of the movie.
I wonder where I saw that. It was because I was looking at like reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just do a quick look. Hitcher was inspired by an actual incident in which Eric picked up a creepy hitchhiker while driving across country through Texas.
Okay, so
But I just wanted to get a little bit more detail
to it
than just that.
It's a start though. We're getting something here.
Yeah, because I know that was he the one that was inspired by the People Are Strange, Matt? I think so. I think he was.
I think so. Yeah. Let me see the trivia.
Could you imagine, like, why? Number one, like,
why would you pick up a hitchhiker?
What is the benefit to picking up a hitchhiker?
There isn't. I mean, I guess the idea is you're being a good person and helping someone out in need.
I feel like people do it. Like truckers have done it because they're like bored and like because
they need companion.
So like
also the other thing is they hope that one thing that they're not murderers, but to potentially drive. I mean, yeah. Like if someone feels like they're falling asleep, they think that
it keeps them up, right?
Yeah.
Back then they were kind of naive about things.
What is it called? White lining? Like when you like drive.
You start the road starts to all come into one, and that's how people swerve into other lanes and things like that.
Yeah. So it says he noodled the plot when he was driving cross country by himself, stopped to pick up a very scary, mentally unhinged man who was hitchhiking. He told him to get lost, and he did get lost, but he wondered what would have happened if he never was able to get rid of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all. It's very general, but
okay.
Yeah, I did read that and was like, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know if it's a director, but it actually is the guy who wrote it.
Okay. Well, we learned some stuff there. So I think we were on the necro part. Yeah, we were.
I'm agreeing with you.
Nash?
Yeah, because even though it was a cutaway, like I feel like the scene itself was like really impactful, and I feel like the cutaway I was like fine with.
Me too. I agree.
And I think the scene was impactful. I know we love to we hate off-screen deaths, but
this one it worked.
The impact made sense, yes. and it was meaningful to the movie.
Okay.
And it also deflates my theory a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. So without further ado, Nash, are you a real person? Are you just Jim Halsey's mind? We don't know. Maybe you didn't die. Maybe all of this was just a manifestation of Jim's mind, and he's just been in a car the entire movie. Maybe none of this was real. But we're going with the idea that it was real and that we have to honor your death in the Necronomicon. You were a great, great cook. You made some of the best sweet potato fries that we've ever tasted in all of Texas. And we are suckers for sweet potato fries. So for that, we're putting you in the Necronomicon. Welcome, Nash.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, it's interesting because, like, I feel like there's no, like, sexual tension between the two.
Literally none at all. I think she just liked bad boys, but there was no sexual tension at all.
None. There was one scene where she was in the hotel and she's like, "Is it okay if I sit next to you?" And then there's nothing. She calls her father. Like, there's nothing.
No, all that happens, she spoons with Ruter Hauer. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it was different. I liked it. And you know what I like more? continuing retro reel.
Sure.
With a banger. Brian Ray said it earlier in the episode, but next week we are doing Maniac Cop.
Yeah, it's just like, these are 5. We're going to do 5 retro Heat, actual Heat movies.
Yeah, if there's a good thing that Mike J. ever came up with, it's just calling things heaters.
Yeah, that asshole. He'd be a hitcher.
He would be a hitcher. You can tell he's a hitcher. Well, with that said, we're the Final Podcast signing off, and we'll see you next week with the Chin versus the Chin.
Ooh, I like that, Shane. The Chin versus the Chin. That's the kind of retro vibe I'm looking for with the retro wheel. www.finalpodcast.com. You know, that's where you're going to find us, all our content, all of our videos for both shows, the A Show, which is every Monday, and the B Show, the Bogart Show, the Shanghai Show, every Friday. We'll see you next week.